We just had an amazing time in Japan, but it is time to go home. So today we are going to be flying from Haneda to DFW on Japan Airlines business class. I have flown JAL before, but only in their economy seats, and from what I remember, the food is really good. So I'm excited to see what they have to offer today. We're starting out our trip here at the JAL First Class Lounge. Steven has One World Sapphire status, which means that we got access to the lounge even though we didn't book first class. If you don't have status, no fear because you still get access to the Secure Lounge. But because we were limited on time, we only visited the First Class Lounge, which had tons of seating. They also had a QR code to scan to book showers and order food. And I ended up getting a little bento and an assortment of nigiri. The plant-based nigiri was actually really good and highly recommend if you're a vegan or vegetarian. And then we hung out at the bar upstairs until it was time to board our flight. As far as check-in and boarding goes, you do get priority check-in, priority security lane, and priority boarding as a first class or business class passenger. Once aboard the aircraft, you'll find several amenities at your seat, including headphones, slippers, a pillow, and some blankets and bedding. There are a ton of places to store things in your little suite, as well as several outlets for charging your devices. To the side, we have a remote controller for the TV and the window. I think it's so cool now that the newer aircrafts have windows that tint instead of the physical blinds. And underneath your ottoman, there is actually enough space for you to store your carry-on as well as other personal items. To the side of the TV, there's a hanger and a mini closet to store any blazers or clothing and shoes, although my shoe cabinet seemed to be broken and just wouldn't open. You also have a mini armrest on the side next to the door and a nice adjustable pull-out table. There are also a ton of controls for different lights in your suite, as well as for adjusting your seat. Okay, we have reached cruising altitude, and so let's go ahead and do a amenities kit unboxing. So I have my amenities kit here. Looks like it was a collaboration with Albany. I don't really know that brand, but the bag is really cute though. It has the brand on the front, and inside you'll find a pair of earplugs, a little packet of tissues, an eye mask, a toothbrush, some hand cream from the brand Payot, a little phone stand that has JL on it, lastly a USB to, I guess it's a lightning cable, which also has USB-C to, in case you're not an iPhone user like me. And that is pretty much everything in the amenities kit. They do come in different colors. I saw a bunch of the other seats had various colors. Steven got a black one, and everything in his is pretty much the same as mine. So that is the JAL business class amenities kit. Alright, now it's time for us to enjoy our flight. I haven't seen Freakier Friday yet, so I was excited to see that it was a movie available on the flight. There is an option to connect your own Bluetooth headphones, so if you don't love wires or prefer using your own, you are able to do so. And once we got settled in, it was time for our first meal service. You do have the option to eat a little bit later if you do wish, but they have a pretty large selection of beverages as well as a few dinner and light meal options as well. Starting out with some appetizers, we have nuts and breadsticks with marinara sauce. For the main meal, I chose the Japanese option, which looked phenomenal. There were so many little side dishes. I love that there's so many different salt dishes and they all have different flavors, and this is apparently just the appetizer. Then for the actual main course, it did contain some meat, so I gave those parts to Steven to eat. I thought it was so interesting that all the rice was packaged in these little packets. It just was so amusing to me. And then for dessert, they had this delicious pudding. This is so light and refreshing and so good. It's the perfect end to a meal.
Now for the bathroom tour. The bathroom is pretty tight in here. There is a full-length mirror and all of your usual bathroom things. And for the soaps, they have Miller Harris. There are also toothbrushes here, as well as what I'm assuming are barf bags if you need that. You've also got a regular size sink, and that's pretty much it.
Alright, it is time to go to bed. I have got my slippers on. I need to change into these and out of my shoes. They also give you a nice little like shoehorn thing to help you put on your shoes afterwards. So let's get the bed ready now. Alright, so I got the bed set up. They did come by and bring a mattress pad, so there is quite a bit of padding. It's like probably an inch thick, so it does provide some comfort. There is this like mattress topper situation, but mine came with a stain, so I had it flipped up near the top of my head. I just put it on kind of the bottom. I don't know what that stain was. I assume that it's been disinfected, and so it's just like, you know, a stain that was left over. But yeah, it just like doesn't give like the best impression. And in terms of other amenities, they do give you a blanket. It's like really hot in this cabin right now, so I even took off my sweatshirt because it was just like too much. But the blanket you could use as another extra padding. And then this is what they give you to wear on the plane, like as sleepwear, but you do not get to keep it, so there are no pajamas. It's kind of like this towel like material, and it's basically a giant poncho, and it has like short sleeves. I am too warm right now, so will not be wearing this. The seat does offer quite a bit of privacy because the doors are actually so high. They fully close after takeoff and before landing. I can barely peer over and see Steven in the seat behind me, so like when we have to talk, we have to like message each other. So I do feel like pretty comfortable sleeping and just like being in this space. As far as legroom goes, there is quite a bit of legroom. I have lots of space here, and then also just like in terms of width as well. I'm short, so I do not reach the end by any means, but I think that there's still quite a bit of space. Like even if I slid down, I still am not touching the end there, so there is quite a lot of space in this seat. Okay, so we are about 2.5 hours from landing, and I look a little crusty, but I did not sleep at all. I tried to sleep for about 4 hours, but it was really warm in the cabin, so it made it hard for me to fall asleep, and this door kept opening. So it was like letting in light, and like people were walking by, and someone was coughing for like 10 minutes straight. So no sleep pad. Although the seat was comfortable and I probably could have slept in the right conditions, but I'm a light sleeper, and so that's kind of a me problem. Steven was sound asleep. I'm about to order some like breakfast, I guess, or like the second meal from the a la carte menu. I think we have until 2 hours before landing to order something so that they can like clean up and make sure that everyone is settled before landing. So I think I ordered a little bit too late. They were out of the egg sandwich, which is the one that I wanted, so I got the Japanese meal instead. Still looks pretty good. I also asked for some fruit and ice cream, but I think that they missed the fruit part. So I did just get ice cream though, so that's good. But I'm a little bit disappointed that I didn't get what I wanted, but I think I just like ordered a little bit too late. So that was my fault. I should have gotten up earlier and ordered beforehand so that I could make sure that I got what I wanted. Alright, so we are nearing the end of this flight, so it is time for the flight report card. Unfortunately, my Wi-Fi just went out, so I am having to remember all the categories, and I think I'm going to go a little bit out of order from usual. So starting with the lounge, because we got to experience the JAL first class lounge, had an amazing experience. Wish we had stayed there a bit longer because there were just so many different areas to explore. We didn't actually go into the business class lounge, so I'm not quite sure sure how it is, but overall, I assume it's probably kind of up there. So I would give it an A. In terms of the seat, I'm also giving it an A as well. I think that it was quite roomy. It was pretty comfortable. There's lots of space, and so I didn't have any complaints there. As far as storage goes, there's plenty of storage underneath the ottoman and kind of just like in this ground space next to like this table situation. There's also storage spaces for your shoes and also for like any coats or jackets that you have, which is very thoughtful. So I think that that was really nice. And so it also gets an A there. In terms of privacy, if you have a working privacy door, it would get an A because these doors are pretty high up and you do have to like really peer over in order to see inside of a cubicle, if you're short like me especially, and so you do have great privacy. I seem to always sit in the broken seat, otherwise I think it gives you a great sense of privacy. So for that I give it an A. Entertainment wise as well, I'm gonna give it an A. The screen is huge here. It's like 24 inches I believe, 4K Ultra HD. You do get Wi-Fi, although it is currently not working, and we're in like the last hour and a half of the flight though, so I'm not terribly mad about it, although it was a little bit inconvenient. The selection of movies and shows on here were also pretty good. I'm currently going through an Anne Hathaway binge at the moment. As far as amenities go, they don't give quite as many amenities as some of the other airlines. There's no pajamas, and the amenities kit wasn't quite as robust as some of the other airlines, although they did come around and just give us these sleeping masks, which I have never used before. It's a steam eye mask, so that'll be an interesting little experiment to try when I get home. So I am gonna give it an A minus. The food though was good. I enjoyed all my meals, although they did run out of one of the things that I wanted to try, so I was a little bit disappointed, but all the Japanese meals are fine. They tasted great, and it was a good selection and good portion size. As far as the service goes, it was good, but when I'm comparing it to the other airlines that I've flown, especially recently, I think about Air France really stood out to me, and they were very prompt in their meal service. Though they did have fewer seats, and it was easier to kind of keep track of all the passengers because there wasn't as much privacy. I debated going back and forth between an A minus and an A, and I settled on an A minus with the caveat that I think that this is still really good service, but just because I want to make it fair across the airlines, I really think that Air France did a little bit better. I have to give it an A minus, although the service here was still good. And bathroom wise, I'm gonna give it a B because I had a lot of trouble actually like getting to the bathroom in terms of like the bathroom being open or unoccupied. I feel like for the longest time it was red, it was occupied, like there were always people in it, and I really needed to pee. It took some time before one opened up, and then the bathroom itself was a little bit small. I expected it to be a little bit bigger in business class, and there were actually only 3 bathrooms in this business class area, so I think that's not a lot for the number of passengers in business class. So for that reason I gave it a B, and that brings our overall grade to an A minus. So still very good flight. I had a pleasant time. I was very comfortable and well fed. Now in terms of price, we paid 89,000 membership rewards points per person, which we transferred to Cathay Pacific to book this JAL flight. We also paid about $300 in fees per person as well. And because I don't have Wi-Fi, I'm not able to look up the cash price of this flight. So I'll put it up on the screen what it is and the cents per point. But in terms of the redemption value, I think that this was a great redemption. This flight was, I don't know, like close to 14 hours long, and being in such a comfortable seat, having really nice meals, I think that it was totally worth it. The service was good, and I had a great time on this flight. But let me know down in the comments below whether or not you think that it is worth it. And if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.